I never imagined that a small white pill could tear my family apart. My wife Sarah and I had been married for 32 years. She was my anchor, steady, kind, and sharp as a tack. Even after the kids grew up and moved out, our evenings were filled with shared tea, quiet laughter, and the comfortable silence that only long love creates. So when Sarah started forgetting small things, I noticed immediately. At first, it was harmless. She misplaced her glasses, forgot the name of a neighbor, burned the rice once, something she had cooked perfectly for decades. But then came the confusion. She asked me why I was late coming home, even though I had been sitting beside her all afternoon. Our family doctor ran tests and eventually referred us to a neurologist. The diagnosis landed like a hammer: early-stage dementia. Sarah cried quietly. I held her hand and promised her the same thing I had promised on our wedding day: I won't leave you. Not now. Not ever. The doctor prescribed medication to slow the progression. It wasn't a cure, but it gave us hope, structure, a routine. Every morning after breakfast, I handed Sarah her pills with a glass of water, and she smiled at me like I was doing something heroic. That's when our daughter, Lena, started interfering. Lena was our eldest, successful, confident, and outspoken. She worked in alternative health and had strong opinions about chemical medicine. During one of her visits, she noticed the pill organizer on the kitchen counter. "What's this?" she asked, frowning. "Your mother's medication," I replied. "Doctor's orders." Her lips tightened. "Dad, those drugs are dangerous. They're probably making her worse." I laughed it off at first. "Doctors don't prescribe poison, Lena." But she didn't let it go. Over the next few weeks, Lena sent articles, videos, long messages about natural healing and pharmaceutical conspiracies. She claimed Sarah seemed more tired, more distant, blaming the medication. Then one evening, when Sarah had already gone to bed, Lena sat across from me at the dining table. "Dad," she said softly, "you need to stop giving Mom those pills." I stared at her. "Absolutely not." "She doesn't need them," Lena insisted. "I've seen cases like this. Those drugs accelerate mental decline. If you really love her, you'll stop." Something about her tone unsettled me, not concern but certainty, control. I refused again. The next morning I noticed something odd. The pill organizer was lighter, one compartment empty. When I asked Sarah if she'd taken her pills early, she looked confused. "I don't remember," she said. That night, Lena admitted it. "I threw them away," she said calmly. "I'm protecting her." I felt the air leave my lungs. "You had no right," I said, my voice shaking. "She's my mother." "And she's my wife," I snapped, "and I will not let you play doctor." I called the neurologist the next day and explained everything. He asked us to come in immediately. At the appointment, Lena confidently repeated her claims. The doctor listened patiently, then turned to me. "When did Sarah last take her full dosage?" he asked. I checked my notes. 3 days ago. He nodded slowly. Then he looked at Lena, not angry but firm. "The medication doesn't cause sudden decline," he said, "but stopping it abruptly can." Lena's confidence wavered. He ordered blood tests, brain scans, cognitive assessments. 2 days later, the doctor called me personally. What he said made my hands go numb. "Sarah's recent confusion isn't progression of dementia," he explained. "It's withdrawal, but that's not the most concerning part." My heart pounded. "What is?" "There's evidence someone's been interfering with her medication before this incident. Lower doses, missed days, possibly for months." I felt sick. The doctor continued. "Without consistent treatment, the disease progressed faster than it should have. This damage could have been delayed." When I confronted Lena, she broke down. She admitted she'd been slowly reducing Sarah's pills every time she visited. "I thought I was helping," she sobbed. "I didn't want her dependent on drugs." I wanted to scream, cry, collapse. Instead, I asked her to leave. For weeks, I barely slept. I replayed every moment, every visit, every time I trusted my daughter without question. Sarah's condition stabilized once the medication was properly restored, but some clarity never returned. She still smiles at me, still holds my hand, but sometimes she looks at me like I'm a kind stranger. Lena apologized countless times. She begged forgiveness. I know she didn't act out of cruelty, but ignorance can be just as dangerous. Now I guard Sarah's care fiercely. Doctors only, locked cabinets, clear boundaries. Love does not mean control. Good intentions do not replace expertise, and trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild. Every morning I hand Sarah her pills. She looks at me and asks, "Did I already take these?" I smile and say, "Not yet, my love, I've got you." And this time I make sure nothing, and no one stands in the way.